Hey, everybody.
Hi, guys. Well, from frigid but white Christmassy Salt Lake City, Utah,
It's Thank God I'm Atheist.
the podcast.
I'm Frank Feldman.
And I'm Dan Beecher.
And coming up today, we've got news about those wacky Mormons.
Oh, the Mormons.
They're up to no good again.
They're up to some wacky tricks is what they're up to.
They're doing something they promised never to do again.
Yeah, they did make that promise. Well, promise never to do for a while.
Yeah.
It's clear that they were always going to do it again.
Right, and what we're talking about, of course, is baptizing Holocaust victims for the dead. But we'll get back to that.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. They're
Second half of the show.
They're just they're a wacky bunch of people. They can't stop themselves.
Oh, I know, and
It's their favorite thing.
they love baptizing.
They do.
Why would you
They do.
stop? Why would you take this pleasure away from them, Dan?
It's like swimming.
Oh.
It's like if you combine swimming and hot tubbing with awkwardness and prayer.
I look forward to the day, though, Dan,
Yeah?
when the temples are being decommissioned because they've just been like, fuck it.
And then we buy a
And they
baptismal
convert
font.
that font into a nice spa.
We'll have that sent. Well, we'll buy one and bring it over to our house. That's a Patreon goal now. We're going to have a baptismal font hot tub.
We could just have one made.
No, it's got to be the
It's
real
got to be the
thing.
real deal. All right.
It's got to have been defiled by
Someday, Dan.
people doing bad things in them.
Someday.
And by bad things, I don't mean the bad things I'm going to do once I get it. I mean bad things like offending Jews.
All right. Well, on that note, I'd like to transition, Dan,
Yeah?
to a story about it's a story about the season.
Oh.
Really, and about a
I should
beautiful
be jingling bells.
nativity scene in St. Peter's Square in the Vatican City.
Oh. That's
know.
a very important nativity.
A very, very, very important nativity scene that was also that was accosted, however,
What?
by a topless feminist activist
Yay!
from the group Femin.
Okay, I like their work.
They're working toward a quote unquote complete victory over patriarchy. A noble goal.
Great. I'm all
Something
for it.
we should all support.
Yeah.
And I don't know why she needed to grab or attempt to grab the baby Jesus out of his manger. But she did. Or she was right there. She was grabbing at it right when the police stopped her.
So she rushed the thing.
She rushed it. She jumped.
Do
some
people
barriers.
go up to? Oh, so she.
Oh, no.
She leapt the barriers
Yes.
and rushed up to try and get Jesus.
Yeah. This is a lovely nativity scene, Dan.
But
But really puts the one at the Mormon Temple Square to absolute shame.
Oh, okay.
This is just gorgeous.
And yet she. So she goes bare-breasted. She's.
Of course.
Okay.
That's what she was there to do.
Oh,
Was to be bare-breasted. Anywho, a Vatican security guard or police officer or something stopped her. She's been detained. This all happened about 2 hours before Pope Francis was to deliver his Christmas message.
Oh.
You know, that big one where there's like 50,000 people show
Yeah.
up, and so these women were marching around.
She needed to do it during the Pope's message. That way, she interrupts the Pope.
Yeah, rip off her top.
Yeah. Get in there.
Yeah.
Go and steal you a Jesus. While all the security guys are watching the Papa.
Yeah. Her name, Eliza Vinogradova, and she's been identified as a sex extremist.
Well, I see what they did there. See, they took the word extremist and then they put that S on the front. And made the word sex at the beginning.
Indeed, Dan,
They're so clever.
Your powers of observation.
I figured it out.
They
I know
amaze
where
me.
they were going.
They amaze
with
me,
that.
Dan.
Yeah.
Anywho, yeah. Femin has staged, or actually, they did stage a similar protest back in 2014, actually on Christmas Day.
Oh.
That time. But yeah, they or was this was also on Christmas Day?
Was it?
Wasn't it? I think it was.
Okay.
But they actually the activist that year who rushed the nativity scene was a little more sure-footed or more nimble on her feet, and she actually made it all the way and had the baby Jesus in her possession before she was arrested.
What could be better for a newborn infant than a bare-breasted woman? It's
Indeed.
it's the natural thing.
They should be encouraging this.
Right. You know, that motionless statue of Mary's not doing anything.
No.
That baby needs
no
boobs.
Lactation
No.
happening. Although, who knows about these boobs?
That's,
not all
that's
boob,
one thing that you never
can't
hear.
assume a boob is lactating.
You always hear about, like, a statue of Mary that's weeping, or a statue of Mary or a statue of Jesus that's bleeding, or whatever. You never hear about a statue of Mary that's, like, lactating.
That would be wonderful.
That'd be a great miracle.
She's the Holy Mother.
She's the Holy Mother. That's
right.
that is the correct miracle.
Right.
For the statue of Mary. Do you remember we reported a little while ago on a statue of Mary that was, like, dripping water, and people were going and drinking the water and thinking it was whole, and it turns out it was a toilet that was leaking.
It was the sewer line.
Yeah. Not nice.
No.
All right. I'm going to move on to the great state of Ohio here in these United States.
Yeah.
Where former presidential hopeful John Kasich? How did we pronounce that?
Kasich.
That guy.
How soon we forget.
I'm trying. I'm really trying. He's not making it easy for us.
Oh, no.
He just signed a bill. He's the governor of that state, and he just signed a bill. And that bill says that it has now become illegal to perform an abortion if the reason for the abortion is that the baby, the fetus, is shown to have Down syndrome.
Oh.
So, the woman requesting the abortion is perfectly safe. But if a doctor performs an abortion, and the reason turns out to be that the woman wanted the abortion because the fetus has Down syndrome, that doctor will be guilty of a 4th-degree felony, punishable by up to 18 months in prison and a revoked doctor's license. Wow. So,
okay,
they saved all the Downs children that were never going to be before. Hooray! Of course, this is all just a front, another way to try and make it less legal to abort a child.
Right.
And it's probably not constitutional.
Right.
So eventually someone will probably stand up to it, although if you're in that situation and you're in Ohio, just go to another state. Find a neighboring state. Right. It's nonsense. And the other thing is that what it's doing, while they're claiming victory for the families of those with Down syndrome, what they're actually doing is using Down syndrome as a sort of cultural prop.
Right.
So that they can it's exploiting the families of people with Down syndrome to promote an agenda of trying to stop abortion because it's the murder of babies and it's against Jesus.
And they specifically Down syndrome.
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing else covered in this.
No, this bill was called the let's see. Yeah, it actually talks it actually says Down syndrome in it. It is the Down Syndrome Non-Discrimination Act.
Okay.
So apparently it actually does end up discriminating against Down syndrome babies because you can get an abortion for any other fetus in the same time period.
Right.
But not for the Down syndrome one. So that's to me singling out Down syndrome.
Yeah.
It is discrimination.
Yeah.
Or anyway, doesn't matter. It's stupid. It's a stupid law, and it's meant to promote a Christian agenda in law, even though that's not what this country's supposed to do. But guess what? We're going to see a lot of that.
We're doing it.
We're doing it. We're back.
You know what?
We're back to being a Christian country.
Finally.
Finally.
You know?
Oh. Finally. It's a
I feel safe
good
to
time
be
to-
in America.
right.
Dan.
Right. It's a
The
good.
streets are safe.
Yeah. Well,
Gangs have been completely busted up.
as a straight white
There's
male,
no drug sales anymore, or illicit drug sales.
right? Everyone can walk the street without fear.
You
There's-
know.
You know.
I mean, except women of being, raped. Or because we're not going to clear that up.
Or black
This-
folks
because
of being murdered
Sure.
by
Because
the
we're
police.
we're turning back the clock, Dan.
We're going back to a time when America was truly beautiful and no bad things ever happened to
straight white
men.
males.
I win. I am the winner.
Yeah.
Oh, this
But
is
you're not Christian, Dan.
Oh fuck.
You're not Christian.
Oh, but wait.
Therein lies the problem for you, Dan.
When I convert, I will be hailed as the hero of all heroes.
Yeah.
That's why I had to study acting, so that moment in
Yeah.
my future will be believable.
You, like other straight white men, disgust me, Dan.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
You disgust me.
All right, what do you got?
Well, according to the Texas Attorney General,
They have one of those?
such as he is, he says he's come out with an opinion. Apparently, Attorney General opinions are wildly important in Texas.
Yeah.
And he says that it's fine to carry loaded guns into churches.
Well,
That's what the law. He's interpreted the law, and that's what he says.
and that means that he's not going to pursue convictions against anybody that does such a thing. I mean, they've been doing it. They're still doing it.
Oh yeah. Basically, he's just clarifying something.
There have been several, like we've reported on, accidental shootings in churches.
Oh yeah.
This shit's happening.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
Great.
So basically, what he's done is he's just applying the same standard that exists for other organizations or other buildings and owners of buildings and whatnot. If they do not want to allow their parishioners to carry guns in, they have to provide, quote, effective oral or written notice prohibiting the carrying of handguns on its property. But the standard that the law requires for these signs is very detailed, very specific.
Okay.
The signs are usually about 3 feet tall.
Whoa.
Because of the amount of information contained therein.
So that's like 3 feet of small print.
More or less, but large enough so that you can read it.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Because they want people to fully understand. There has to be an explanation of the law. On the sign, so forth and so on. Anyway, that's even sort of.
But you'd be crazy to put that sign up in Texas because no parishioners would come. Even if they don't want to carry a gun, they don't want to live in they don't want to go to a church that don't allow guns.
Deny you your Second Amendment rights.
Your God-given right to hold a firearm
At all times.
in any place.
Wherever I want, whenever I want. Anyway, his legal opinion also asserts that the churches don't have to pay an annual license fee that would typically be required by private institutions that want to maintain, like a volunteer security
Right.
group.
That was the
or
new
team, right?
The new law that came. Yeah.
Right. So they but Texas law already allows churches to form these teams without having members go through state background checks,
Right.
or through any training.
Well, you
So
wouldn't
basically, what churches are allowed to do is just raise up
a militia.
a posse,
Yeah.
and
I hope we start getting church marshals with little tin stars. I'm the sheriff of this here church. Yeehaw!
yeah. So anyway, Oh, the other thing about the signs, I forgot this one detail.
Okay.
They also require a Spanish translation.
Oh, well, you wouldn't want someone
In a state that would otherwise probably say, English only,
Right.
English first, English, this is America.
right
In order to make the sign as
cumbersome.
onerous
Right.
as possible.
Right. Well, you wouldn't
cumbersome,
want
yes.
you wouldn't want one of them Mexicans coming in and bringing their guns and not knowing.
I think it should be translated to all the languages.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, sure. Why not? Malayalam. We'll do that one. Speaking of Malayalam, I'm moving on to India.
Oh.
The land of the Indus Valley, and the cradle of civilization, or something. Maybe that was more the Mesopotamian region. Depends on who you talk to.
Tiger and Euphrates.
Sure. Anywho, I'm going to India where
The Fertile Crescent.
where the world over, it was Christmas last week, Franklin, and
Was it?
indeed,
I think I missed that.
oh, how I wish I had missed it. And in India, apparently, the Indian government had to ask different states to increase their security during Christmas festivities.
Oh? Really?
There have been a few recent sort of isolated attacks against Christians, but the vast majority of Indians are Hindu, and Hindu nationalists have started to take over the country. Oh. They've had some big wins politically recently. Now, see if you can hear anything that sounds remotely familiar to you. Oh boy! Hindu nationalists. So nationalists of the dominant religion have come forth and started persecuting people of minor religions and no religion in the country,
Saying that they're the ones who are being persecuted,
Right.
by the minority groups.
So yeah, so
And
they
that their numbers are in danger.
yeah, probably. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you reported a little bit ago about the ministers taking off the Taj Mahal from their tourist
Right.
stuff because they don't want Muslim propaganda being part of the Muslim sites being part of the tourism thing.
And the identity of their region
Right.
and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
And it was like,
Who can imagine? Yeah, I mean the Taj Mahal's not cool.
right.
So
Show us what you got. You know,
right.
you got something cooler than that? Great.
Right. So the few Christians that live in now there is one state in India, which is Kerala, which is largely Christian.
Oh, yeah.
That's in the south. But in the north, where it's almost all Hindu, the small populations of Christians there are apparently in need of extra help because they are under threat. So Christmas involved ramped up security. There were no incidents as today's Boxing Day for us. As of the time of this recording, there had been no violent incidents.
Okay.
But yeah,
Oh, good.
that's the state of things in India.
India. All right, Dan. Want to return the story back to these United States,
Sure.
specifically Wisconsin,
Okay.
where a Roman Catholic priest in Milwaukee
Yeah.
came out as gay.
Oh dear. They've never had one of those before. They've never had. There's never been a gay Roman Catholic priest.
Yeah.
Because why would a gay man who in a religion that completely shuns gay people go into a celibate life? It doesn't make any sense.
He disclosed his sexual orientation on Sunday to the Saint Bernadette Parish,
Okay.
and was greeted with a standing ovation from his parishioners.
Oh. Interesting.
Isn't that, though?
In Wisconsin.
In Milwaukee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how about that?
He cleared it, well, or at least he notified the archbishop, the Milwaukee archbishop, Jerome Listecki, before coming out. And the archdiocese has issued a statement, says we support Father Greeton and his own personal journey and telling his story of coming to understand and live with his sexual orientation.
You fucking bastards. It's just so disingenuous. It's so fucked up. Like, we totally support this guy. Great. Good for him. Unless he ever touches a penis and then he's going straight to hell.
Well, but the same could be said. Well, okay. Right.
Any of them.
Yeah.
It's.
Because, I mean, he's taken a vow of celibacy, and it sounds
Right.
like he's staying in the clergy, so he must be intending to continue.
Sure.
But he wants people to know that he's gay,
Great.
right? And he says that he's helping to break the silence of gay men in the clergy, and he's trying to lend a voice. And he says, "I will embrace the person that God created me to be. In my priestly life and ministry, I too will help you, whether you are gay or straight, bisexual or transgendered, to be your authentic self, to be fully alive, living in your image and likeness of God."
So does that mean if someone comes to confession with him and says, I'm gay, he's not going to say, you can't be gay? He's not going to give them penance for a gay act? He's not going to make them repent for gay acts?
Oh, yeah, he'll probably do that.
He'll do that.
Right.
This is such bullshit.
But if you just say you're gay, well, but isn't it interesting though? Because like, I don't know, he might be a little bit on the liberal side.
You think?
He might have a different approach.
His whole congregation is probably pretty liberal. He's probably shepherded them in that direction for years now.
Right.
Because he had a little secret.
Right.
But I mean, like, on the one hand, yes, I'm very excited that they were cool with it. And I'm very happy that that's the direction that the world is going.
Uh-huh.
And on the other hand, fuck you for not, like...
For not calling the church out?
I'm just saying, like, these guys get credit, but they're giving with one hand and taking away with the other. So I'm going to give my credit with one hand and fucking take it right back again because shut the hell up, you're still oppressing gay people.
I doubt this guy's doing too much.
Okay, his participation in the organization is plenty.
Well, we don't know exactly where he is. Right,
you know you're the gay man here, right?
I do. Yeah. Okay. But I'm welcoming a gay voice.
Yeah, sure.
In welcoming this event that a gay voice is joining in and is going to be out and has declared itself to be speaking for other men in his situation, and he's a believer,
and he's got support apparently.
And so, whether or not I agree with his vows of celibacy or the Catholic Church's stance on homosexuality, right, here's a voice that is this is the crazy thing, Dan. This is slow progress.
I know.
This is a voice that's now out in front of people, and that he's not letting himself be silenced. And if the church tries to silence him, this guy, it doesn't sound like he's going to let himself.
Oh no, this is definitely a good thing. Like 100%, there's going to be a Catholic grandma that hears about this guy and accepts her grandson,
and it goes easier on her grandson. Yeah,
right.
Things go easier.
And eventually, what happens is another gay priest comes out, another gay priest comes out, and eventually the church itself softens.
Right.
When they see how they're, when they see that it's a good thing. Of course it's a good thing.
Right.
Still.
Right. The Catholic Church on this issue sucks.
Fuck the Catholic Church.
I'm not saying that they don't.
Right.
I think this is just fascinating.
Yeah.
Also, that he's getting away with it.
Yes.
Right?
That is amazing.
He is staying in his position, and his congregation gave him a standing ovation.
I just think it's amazing that people can clap in church.
Well, you grew up Mormon. Of course
I know.
You do.
This is the weirdest thing. Mormons, ladies and gentlemen, don't clap in their church. It is so... Which is normally fine because there's literally nothing to clap for. But
Right.
every now and then someone will play some beautiful piece of music or whatever, and then everybody just sits in silence afterwards, and it feels like the most awkward thing that's ever happened on the earth.
So I don't know about you, though. If I was at Mormon Church and the bishop came out as gay, I would stand up and clap.
That'd be amazing. Oh, now I want to be there. Now I want to be there. Oh, I want to do that.
So, honey, just want to let you know.
I'd like to bear
And
my
everybody
testimony.
else here.
Yeah. Right. All right. I'm going to take us far away from the troubles of these United States and into the mysterious land of Egypt.
Oh.
Home of the pyramids, the Sphinx,
Yes.
and a heck of a lot of Muslims.
Yeah.
It is a majority Muslim country, and they don't like us, the eartheists. Sorry, the atheists.
That's true. I don't.
They're not fans at all. In 2014, apparently, they came out and said that there were exactly 866 atheists in the country.
They knew who they all were.
Apparently, that's a very spooky thing to say.
That, if you were one of them,
Right.
one of the thousands, right?
Well, I mean, there's nearly 95 million people in that country,
Right.
so there are probably over 1 million atheists in the country, like at least.
Sure.
That's just math.
You could easily say hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's
But
more than
nonetheless,
866.
But imagine you really don't know any other atheists,
Right.
and you're sitting there, and they say we know, and it's 800. You're like, oh shit,
Right.
they know.
I am alone, and they know who I am.
Okay. Anyway,
They're not satisfied with just. By the way, if you're an atheist in Egypt, that's okay. You're allowed to be an atheist.
just can't have atheist. You can't act on your atheism.
Can't talk to anybody about it. You can't proselytize it. You can't put it out there.
Can't have sex with other atheists.
You can't because that makes you an atheisexual, and that's totally against.
Bad.
But no, you can't talk about it because you will get arrested for proselytizing atheism, and that's
Right.
not okay. That's blasphemy or whatever.
Oh.
And you can't leave. The other thing is, if you are a Muslim and you leave Islam,
Yeah.
then that's also prosecutable, and possibly punishable by death. Anyway, they're working on passing a law. They're working on it. They just so the Committee on Religion in the Egyptian Parliament has announced that they plan to pass a bill that makes atheism a criminal offense. Just not believing in a god would be against the law in Egypt. How does that sound?
Wow. That's fun.
Yeah, you and I should go and record a podcast there. And then
Really?
and then hope that usually we may be banned for life from ever going back, but usually our consulate can get American citizens out, right? Right?
Yeah. I don't know how good they are at saving you from the mobs
Yeah, that's another.
looking to kill you.
Yeah.
I don't know, Dan. That's
It's scary. There are many parts of the world that would be unwelcoming. You and I are the nicest people.
right.
We're so harmless.
Well, there are more reasons against me than there are against you, probably.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
That's true.
where I have to be a little more careful about where I travel.
Oh goodness.
You know.
This world has not sorted it all out yet.
No.
It is not sorted,
No.
ladies and gentlemen. Well, if you know how to sort it all out, you can write to us, podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Or you could call and leave a voicemail message. The telephone number is 424-666-8442.
Yep. Go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/TGIAtheist, and click that like button.
And while you're on Facebook, why not, search for that TGIA Members Only Lounge and request to join. And, you'll be glad you did.
Yeah.
So, Dan.
Yeah.
It's time for a clip from the Jim Baker Show.
Oh. And you know what? We never play most of the... 90% of that show is buckets. And we never play the bucket stuff.
The buckets are pretty good.
We only ever get to the crazy.
Yeah. Well, on this week's episode... he has a guest on by the name of Sundar Selvaraj. He's I guess kind of a prophet type character.
Oh, he looks like, if I can paint a picture for you, if you've ever seen an Indian holy man with like long hair and a long white beard and stuff, he looks like a sort of trimmed up version, because they look a little ratty, like they've been living out in the woods or whatever.
That's not this man,
but he is in a sort of, and they're always wearing like sort of bright orange robes.
Yeah,
and he's kind of toned his down to a nice muted tangerine, a nice sherbet, sort of colored orange sherbet colored thing. So it's not the bright gaudy thing.
Oh no. But he's tailored himself to this audience.
He looks kind of like orange Santa, or maybe he's orange clad Indian Jesus.
Let's get to the point here.
Okay, just play the thing.
He's prophesizing, and it's boy howdy.
Yeah,
let's listen.
He knows what he's talking about,
and that is why I believe now God has brought Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump will do like what the king of Nineveh did. He will sit in sackcloth and ashes because he is God's man to stand in the gap for this nation.
Wow.
Half of America wants to kill him.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
That is why it is very, very important for all the Christians to pray for Mr. Trump.
Why did God choose Donald Trump? I asked you that question before.
You know, we all have issues with our life. We all have shortcomings.
Yeah.
We all have either big mouth or small mouth.
Right. That's right. It's good.
So does Mr. Trump.
Sure.
You know, you made a very good statement earlier. He's not an actor. How he was before he became the president, that's how he is right now.
That's right.
He's the real stuff.
Right. That's it.
So besides that,
It's just him. He's just who he is. Right.
besides that, I believe he's a God-fearing man. And for that reason, God has chosen him to stand as the king of the nation. And because of his God-fearingness, he becomes now a doorway for God and the angels to come through into this nation for one purpose, to cleanse this nation of all the filth, of all the mess.
Wow.
So that God can pour out his Spirit, his last days powers of the age to come upon this nation, so that this nation will once again become a God nation.
Yes. Amen.
They're trying to get the president. We have a hunting program going on to destroy the president of the United States, and no one is stopping it.
Lord have mercy.
The very person God has given to our nation to save our country is being hunted to be destroyed.
Wow.
Oh boy.
I'll tell you what,
boy.
that's some... First of all, I love how everybody was clapping for our nation to have a king, apparently. Apparently Americans are just thirsty for a monarchy.
I don't even know what to say.
That's
I honestly don't. Like, to that, I have no fucking clue.
right. Yeah.
But if they, hopefully that doesn't catch on.
No.
Because I haven't heard other people on the right, religious right, talking about he's like a king.
I hope they do push for that. It'll just further demonstrate like how far flung these notions are from like what America is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because that's where they're really at.
Yeah.
They're
That's what
crazy.
Like, I suppose.
Oh my God. Well, half of this nation wants to kill him.
What the fuck?
Half.
Kill. I love it. The choice of words. It's always so extreme as to like what
Jim
they want
Baker-
to kill him.
Jim Baker's the one who's constantly talking about how he can't preach the gospel because he gets death threats all the time. They all want to
Right.
kill him. It's bullshit. They just have to make it, they have to make it as extreme as it can possibly be.
Life or death.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, plenty of people want to kill him, I'm sure.
But not half the country.
No. It's probably a third.
At
At most.
least.
Well,
At
yeah.
least.
Yeah,
but not half.
Not half.
Not half.
Come on.
Somewhere between.
Like, yeah.
Maybe like a 2/5.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, you got all the people that support him. So that's 40-something. Well, it's now 30-something% or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, you got your moderates in the middle. Probably want him dead, but they don't want to kill him.
No.
Yeah. So,
Killing's a messy affair.
oh, it's gruesome, and
Really?
it's
Yeah.
time consuming.
Well, you have
You have to plan. He's got all those guards. It's
Yeah.
just hard.
But they're hunting him.
They're hunting.
Hunting.
Woo! Yeah, well, maybe if he wears orange, they won't be able to shoot him because maybe that's why his face is orange. Maybe that's why he does the tanning thing, because hunters know not to shoot orange. Anyway, that's in these United States. When you go hunting, you're supposed to wear bright orange so that other hunters don't shoot you. I've got some folks who wrote into us that I thought I'd read their missives.
Fantastic.
Hi, guys. This is from Kathy. I wanted to tell you I love your show. I love your humor and confidence. I laugh out loud. It's so great. I'm sort of in the in-between stage of leaving Christianity and moving toward non-belief of a God. Without getting into all the details, it's been a several-year process, first letting go of Christianity because of the bigotry, hypocrisy, etc., but I've still held on to the beliefs of parts of the Bible and maybe that God is real. I don't know. But after listening to several hours of different atheist podcasts, yours too, debates, presentations, I feel so confident that I'm moving in the right direction, i.e. away from my belief in a God and that the Bible is simply not true. It's crazy how emotional attachment to faith plays such a big role in staying attached to religion. I'm finding a new sense of peace, joy, confidence, and what I didn't expect is a lack of guilt and shame as I let go. Wow. Thanks for your wonderful show and being you. Much love and appreciation.
I love that.
Yeah.
We don't hear enough from people who are in the process.
In the thick of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and far be it from me to tell you where to land.
No.
But I think you'll get there. I think you're realizing some things.
That's lovely. I like it.
Yeah, me
That's
too.
good stuff.
By the way, one hates to self-promote.
Yeah.
But there's another podcast called The How To Heretic that is for people who are in that transitional space. So tell your friends.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Dear Frank and Dan, says Jonathan, this is my second holiday spent in the South, North Carolina, with my girlfriend and her family. It's always extremely uncomfortable for me since I have never grown up in a standard Southern redneck type of atmosphere. So I make jokes about awkward and uncomfortable situations that I've had to deal with living in the South. I'm a Midwestern. It is really the only way I know how to handle things that trouble me. My girlfriend hates it because she feels they are directed toward her and her family. That I am being disrespectful about her feelings. Lately, we have gotten into fights every time when I make a sarcastic joke. But I don't do it to be contemptuous toward her family, nor do I do it around them. I do it because every time her family makes a bigoted remark, like gays don't deserve rights, or jokes about black people, since her and I live in an all-black neighborhood, I have to, quote, be respectful and not say a word. I can't even have a nuanced discussion with her family on how their remarks make me feel. She tells me to just ignore them like she always does. I'm not sure what else I can do since I can't be myself openly, although her family gets a free pass. Hope you all had a wonderful holiday. Thanks for taking the time to read this.
Oh, yeah.
Family's always going to be the tricky one.
Yeah.
It's tricky. It's tough, you know, whether it's, you know, religious conversations that come up where they get to talk with impunity about their religion, but if you mention one word about your atheism, you're offensive.
Yeah.
It's tough.
I mean, you were in something similar situation,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
in a way.
we had to walk those lines
with your wife's family.
Mm-hmm. And it was tough for a minute. And I made some mistakes along the way. You know, I was pretty not combative because I wasn't mean or insulting.
Right.
But I was pretty out there with my opinion. And I did sort of openly insult their religion. Not them, but, you know, I openly discussed problems that I had with their religion.
Yeah.
And now I realize that was probably a really dumb thing to do. And especially early on in my relationship with them. And it took a while to heal some of those rifts.
Yeah.
And I would love to be able to talk openly with them about my views on things, but I'm never going to be able to. That's just not how this works.
Right.
There are going to be some things, because the reason that I'm there is not to just be myself at any cost, no matter what.
Right.
And screw you if you can't handle it.
Right.
The reason that I'm there is because we love them,
Yeah.
and they are family, and so I keep that in mind. I keep the reason that I'm there in mind.
Yeah. Now, I mean, you were dealing with the main topic, of course, was going to be religion for you,
Right.
But in this situation, that we've in the email also includes racism and homophobia. And that gets tricky because you want to be a voice for those. For communities,
Right.
that you want to defend, you know,
And it's pretty important to do so.
and point out that that's not acceptable. And you know, I'm not a member of, you know, the African American community, but I'm uncomfortable with you saying things like that.
Right. And and frankly, I think that I would support Jonathan if Jonathan wanted to say gently to his, you know, even if you don't say, that's some racist bullshit and you're fucking racist and I hate you, but you could say, you know what? I'm really uncomfortable with you talking like that in front of me.
Yeah.
I don't share those views.
Right.
I think that's and I'd rather you not talk like that in front of me.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a fair thing to say.
Yeah.
You don't have to just sit there and take it. But it's not, but you know what? That you got to pick your battles too.
Yeah.
And you really got to pick your wife, you got to be, if your jokes are making her feel that bad,
Yeah.
maybe you got to give up the jokes, but replace them with something. And what you're doing by making those jokes is you're trying to sort through your feelings. So sort through your feelings.
Yeah.
Instead of making the jokes, sit down with your wife and say, I have some pretty strong feelings about this, and I don't want to hurt you with the joking, and I don't want to offend you, but I need to talk about this,
Right.
because this hurts me.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what's happening. You know, we so many of us mask our feelings of pain or anger or frustration with humor.
Yeah.
But if the humor's not working, if you're hurting somebody else with the humor, let go of it and just go for the reality.
Well, it's no longer funny.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're hurting her,
people aren't laughing.
If you're hurting your audience, it's not funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there you go. That's our take.
Right.
Maybe we're wrong.
Probably are.
Most likely are. Do we have anybody that we need to?
Well, we have no new donors this week.
What?
No new donors, but I'd like just to make sure that everybody knows how they can become a new donor.
Right. Well, and we'll forgive this week. It was Christmas time. I'm sure people were giving their donations.
We will find it within us to forgive this week.
I'm sure they were giving to worthy causes.
Oh, okay.
This week.
Okay.
But next week you got to give to us because we need it too.
Well, we have a lot of people who were giving to us
and are.
They're that did give to us this week.
Right.
But we don't have any new ones.
No new donors.
And so let's just take this opportunity to thank all of the donors and all of our supporters who are still with us.
Who keep us going.
And who keep us going. And if you'd like to join them, you can by going to our website, thankgodimatheist.com.
That's right.
And clicking on the support tab. And then you have your choice of what level you'd like to support us at. We do a per episode system, and you just get to choose. And as always, we have to thank our top donor,
our Lord and Savior,
Angela.
She's better than Jesus. She's real, which makes her better already.
Yeah,
and sainted, holy and pope-like in her holiness.
Yeah.
Long may she wave. In the name of the Father and the Son and the Thing and the Thing. Amen.
Amen. Dan.
Yes, sir.
Mormons.
Here's a memory. Can I share a memory?
Sure.
I'm in my teens. It's finally time. My church youth leaders are packing us all up. We're all dressed in our shirt and tie on a weekday.
Mm-hmm.
We all drive to the temple, to the Mormon temple downtown here in Salt Lake City.
Temple. Yep.
And we go to do baptisms for the dead.
Yeah.
It's the most beautiful thing a young Mormon can ever do.
Of course.
It's basically you put on all white clothing, including, and this creeped me out, underwear that they assign to you.
Yeah. A zippy onesie.
They give
underwear.
That underwear was just tidy whities.
It was?
They just gave me a pair of tidy whities that they assured me had been washed, but ew. And then they give me the onesie, the big old big white
okay.
pure white jumpsuit.
Lovely.
And we go up and we get ourselves ready, and you get into the tub. It's a big, sort of like hotel hot tub sized tub, like bigger than your backyard hot tub.
Yeah, it's good size.
You could get 15, 20 people in there if you wanted to.
If you really packed them in, yeah.
Well, yeah. That's when it gets fun. Yeah. Anyway, and then they dunk me 15 or 20 times, just goosh, goosh, with a little prayer in between.
Right.
I'd baptize you for, and then in the name of Jose, splash. And and that's what baptisms for the dead, that's what the experience is like.
Well, yeah.
And then you get out and your clothes all cling to you, and the gay ones among you get a little more excited than the straight ones. Is what I've been told. So anyway, there we are. Now the Mormons have gotten in some trouble for doing this, because what they're doing is they're baptizing by proxy for folks who are already dead.
Yeah. So that everybody can be Mormon.
Right. Because
in the afterlife.
Because some people, shockingly, never got the opportunity to be Mormon. The glorious and beautiful opportunity to be Mormon while on this earth.
Right.
To
do the most boring thing you could ever do.
Right. So when they shuffle off this mortal coil, the Mormons are going to do the work for them by proxy, and then you can choose to accept that later in life or later in the afterlife.
You can choose to be boring in the afterlife.
To be more,
not.
That's right. The Bormans. But they've really offended some people by doing this. So for a while there, they were like getting lists of Holocaust victims and baptizing those people.
Yeah.
Which...
Well, it was easy work because the Germans are really good record keepers.
They're very good record keepers.
Right.
They could just find, all they got to do is just get one of those lists and just go through it. That's not true.
I know.
That is the truth.
I feel almost terrible bringing it up. It's like kind of a joke, but it's totally fucking true.
It's totally true. And here's the other thing. People were super into getting baptized for celebrities.
Ah, well, yeah, of course.
Genghis Khan, you got your, whatever, your
Marilyn Monroe.
your Henry VIII, your whatever.
You know? Because then you oh my goodness, she was there.
You
She
did
was there accepting the gospel as you were being dunked in the water.
She in her spirit form.
Yeah.
Had just taken a barbiturate, so she was a little sleepy, but she was there.
But she'd gotten her way through the sixth discussion.
Right.
And
Oh God, are there missionaries in heaven?
of course there are.
That makes me so sad. So here's the thing: the Mormon Church, the Jewish community especially was offended by the practice of baptizing for Holocaust victims, because this is a people who has suffered many times. Groups of Christians coming in and saying, "You have to be us if you convert or die."
Right.
So this felt a lot like that. It's very insensitive.
Right.
So the Mormon Church, in one of those rare moments of like, oh, maybe what we're doing is kind of shitty, said, okay, we'll stop.
Well, they'd probably be willing to offend just about every group out there, but they don't want to offend the Jews.
Nobody wants to offend the
No,
Jews.
they want to be liked by the Jews.
Well, they
so
think they
desperately.
are Jews. They
exactly.
feel
yeah.
a kinship with Judaism. 12 tribes and all.
Yeah.
So they promised not to do it anymore.
Good
And they
on
made
them.
a rule. Nobody's
Yeah.
supposed to be baptized for Holocaust victims.
Yeah.
Nobody's supposed to be baptized for celebrities.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, they whittled it down to you're supposed to be baptized for your personal ancestors.
What about like YouTube or Instagram celebrities?
Oh, they're fair
Like,
game. Go get them.
Because what level of celebrity do you have to be?
Well, first of all, you have to be dead.
Okay.
So, yeah,
I'm
but
sure
this-
there's some Instagram celebrity who's died.
Yeah,
I
go
mean,
get them.
It's been around for a few years.
I think they deserve what they get, no matter what.
Yeah.
Fuck Instagram.
But no, didn't they like clarify it? And I think you just said it, right? You're only supposed to do work for your own personal ancestors.
Yeah, I think I think more than that does happen, but for the most part, that's what they want it to
right.
be.
That's it. So I mean, if Genghis Khan was actually your whatever, how many greats grandfather,
And he was for many people. If
yeah, that's
people
true.
who are doing their 23andMe or their ancestry, like their DNA thing.
Yeah.
People who are like the whitest of white, or people you wouldn't expect, have Mongolian in them because that man had sex with everybody.
Wow.
He impregnated the world,
Wow.
apparently.
Interesting.
So lots of people are blood related to Genghis Khan.
Interesting.
Anyway, the whole thing is they promised that they weren't going to do it. Well, here's what happened. Like the Germans, the Mormons are meticulous record keepers. And though they don't allow just the general public to see who has been baptized for and who hasn't, they have they have their website, FamilySearch.org. They have one of the most extensive genealogical databases in the world, if not the most extensive. It may well be the most extensive single genealogical database in the world. And behind their firewall, members can see who has and who hasn't had the work done for them, the baptisms done for them.
Right. Okay.
Well, somebody got access to it.
Oh boy.
A woman named Helen Radke.
Yeah.
Did a lot of research, got behind that firewall, and discovered that they're still doing it. it.
Oh, dear
They're
God.
still being baptized for Holocaust victims. Somebody did Anne Frank, which I'm sure she's been done a million times.
Right. Oh, my God.
They're still doing, yes, Humphrey Bogart, Marilyn Monroe,
Oh, God.
the Queen Mother,
no.
Kim Kardashian, the grandparents of Kim Kardashian, Carrie Fisher.
No, she just barely died.
Yeah. It's
No.
anyway, so this is a problem. The Mormons are, they made a promise. They made a covenant, and they are not following through.
Ew. Carrie Fisher.
I might
I'm
be
incensed
misinterpreting
about
that line. That line may be saying that they did her grandparents.
Oh.
Because it says grandparents of Kim Kardashian and Carrie Fisher. Oh, and U.S. politicians Joe Biden, John McCain. They'll get to Fisher.
Yeah.
They'll get to Carrie Fisher.
Yeah.
Don't worry yourself about it.
One Debbie Reynolds.
Yeah.
I mean,
All of them.
yeah, they got it.
They'll Debbie Reynolds.
That was so sad.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It was sad.
Anyway, it's a very gay moment you were just having.
For the yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few of them that I agree with my older gay brothers.
I saw Debbie Reynolds perform live once.
Did you really?
Yes, I
I'm
did.
jealous.
Yeah, she was fabulous.
Oh.
And she did say, to you younger people, I'm Princess Leia's mom. To those of you who don't know
What
who I
a
am.
great line.
Yeah. Anyway, there are definitely some angry Jews out there. But here's what I wanted to get to.
Yeah.
Are we upset about this? You and I?
Oh, who the fuck cares?
I mean, I get being offended because, symbolically it's offensive. But it's
they're
not
not
like the
doing-
Jews think anything's actually happening.
Nothing's happening. Nothing.
Mormons are getting
Somebody
wet
said
and saying
somebody
they're
said a Holocaust victim's name
right,
in the temple, and then somebody else was dumped.
and then blew some bubbles.
Yeah.
It's not. There's nothing
I don't know.
happening.
I
There
don't
is no voodoo
Yeah.
to this.
Right.
So what the fuck are they upset about?
I don't know.
I mean, let them get mad at each other. It's fine. I just think in the end,
What if you had
it's so stupid.
What if you you have a very ecumenical view of the afterlife, and everybody just everybody's right?
Yeah,
So now there's some tug of war,
that the everyone's right position, which I have heard expressed. That sort of panoply of ideas
yeah.
is all correct.
Yeah.
Thought. If you believe that, listener, I don't want you to be offended. You're an idiot. That's absurd.
Well, we would really get shortchanged
Yeah,
because we didn't believe.
we didn't believe in anything.
So
Well, we're right.
We get
too.
what we wanted anyway. We just died.
Yeah. Well, considering every conception of heaven that I've ever been told,
Oh my God!
oblivion sounds preferable.
No kidding.
I'll go with that.
We could create a heaven and believe in it. That would be worth going to.
Yeah.
I bet we could. But if we put our minds to it, Dan,
I don't know. I wouldn't mind this. This seems like a perfectly reasonable heaven.
just continue.
Just
with some
maybe,
life
just maybe with less hatred.
in the
This,
world.
but nicer. Just fix the place up a little bit. A little spit and polish, and this will do just fine.
Fewer Christians
Way fewer Christians.
and no Muslims. I said it.
Oh, how about no religion?
I have no religion.
Imagine no religion.
Basically, my life and my people, just more of us.
Yeah. And people can disagree,
Yeah.
but civilly.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice? Humans acting humanely. How about that?
Yeah.
We should come up with a thing called humanism, where people
That's
are
a
nice.
really good idea, dude.
Right? Because they got all the isms.
Yeah. You should rush out and grab that URL.
Just copyright that one. I think I can do it. I think I can get it. You remember when Dan Savage came up with the all dead Mormons are gay thing as a response to the the baptism thing,
Is
and
that
then you
still
can,
up and running?
Yeah, you can go to alldeadmormonsarегay.com or now gay. Alldeadmormonsarnowgay.com, and you can enter in the name of a dead Mormon, and it will make them gay. And
Awesome.
you just click go. You just click convert. You enter their name. I'll do my grandma. I'll make my grandma gay. Hang on.
Okay. You better keep... Okay. So I'm going to talk while Dan's doing that.
Yeah. Sorry, for a second I couldn't think of her
Okay.
her first
Make sure you
name.
get it all right.
Her first name is
Otherwise
not...
it won't stick.
It turns out her first name is not Grandma.
Oh, no.
But I did remember what it was. I'm going to hit convert.
Just as effective.
Converting her, and she's gay.
There you go.
Okay.
Done.
So...
I was hoping for a little bit more on the screen, though, I have to say.
Yeah.
I wanted some sparkles.
Yeah, a little fanfare, a little
glitter.
Yeah. Where's
Yeah.
that? Dan Savage?
There's no rainbow.
Just a little something.
There might be a rainbow on screen, but one didn't appear.
No. I'm mad. Anyway, what's funny about that, the reason I bring it up is because there is a psychological thing to it. Even though I know nothing's happening, and even though my grandmother is dead and all that stuff, like, it feels a little weird. Like, and a Mormon witnessing this would probably be offended by it.
Yeah.
Even though they know that no juju is involved.
Right. And
nothing can make this will not affect their dead loved one.
And is your mom sitting there going, he better not have put my mom's name in?
I put one of the grandmas in. Mom, I know you're listening. Your mom might be gay now, and you're just going to have to live with that. Your daughter is. Your mom might be too.
Yeah.
But that's the point, is that there is some psychological juju. Even when there's no magical juju.
Yeah.
There's a psychological juju. And I think that's the brilliance.
Keep saying the word juju about this whole...
Yeah.
Okay, good.
That's what it's called.
I know it is.
That's the facts.
I just think it's funny to keep saying juju when we're talking about...
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, Jew.
Yeah,
okay, I'm with you. All right. Spelled Jewjew. That's how you spell it. That's
Juju.
what it is.
Yeah.
It's juju.
Bad juju.
Bad juju. So, I think that's where I think the brilliance of Dan Savage's thing is.
Yeah.
Is that it points out that, like, even if you don't believe that it's real, it's still, like, jarring.
Right.
And it's uncomfortable. And fuck you for doing it.
Right.
I think that's the idea.
It's bad juju to take a Jew and
unjew them
and undo the Jew.
Undo the Jew is bad juju. All right, kids. Well, if you have any juju that you'd like to impart unto us or any response to this, please feel free to write into us, podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Or you could call and leave us a voicemail message. The telephone number is 424-666-8442.
Yeah, go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/TGIAtheist, and click that like button.
And while you're there, search for the TGIA Members Only Lounge and request to join. It's a closed group, but we'll let you in.
Yep. Hey, we need to thank some folks. Thanks, speaking of Facebook, to Mackenzie for her fine work on the Facebook page, and to Sarah, Danny, and Amy for their work as moderators in the Members Only Lounge.
And thanks go out to the Red Rock Hot Club for the use of their music, and to Gordon Johnston for the use of his music.
Thanks again to our patrons who keep this thing going. If you want to join them, we sure would appreciate it. You go to thankgodimatheist.com and you click that Patreon button, and you can do that.
Yeah, or if you'd like to watch us on YouTube and see how giant the bandage is on my hand.
Yeah. He's got a very large bandage on his hand.
You can do that. Go to youtube.com/TGIAtheist.
And thank you all, dear listeners and viewers, for tuning in. We sure do appreciate it.
Bye.